Good morning. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. So excited to be here on this fantastic Tuesday. Gosh, I feel like my week's kind of, not quite sure what day it is with the simple time change. Isn't it crazy how just changing 1 hour throws everything off? I was wide awake this morning. And of course, then last night I was ready to go to bed. I think as soon as it was dark. So we're going to give everybody just a few moments to log on. Today, what we're going to talk about is I sent out a question to just a select audience and asked a very simple question, and I got some answers back. And we're going to share just some of those answers and then how, or there really were challenges, and then of course how we can address those. So we'll give everybody a chance to jump on here. I'm going to invite, if you're jumping on, make sure and let's start, introduce yourself, your company, and where you live. If you want to go ahead and send a celebration and let people know what's been happening, what's been happening with your business, what milestones have you conquered. Those are some things that we want to get to know about each other here at Inspired Nation. We want to be able to celebrate. We want to be able to, of course, educate you. And then, of course, we're trying to build a place for collaboration with one another, because that's really what we're about here at Inspired Nation. It's just helping us continue to move forward towards our goals. So we want to make sure that we can do that. I'm going to go ahead. As you guys know, I end up having to have several different screens going so that I can see the comments. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that because if not, I can't see what you guys are asking me. And so we want to make sure we have that ability to answer the questions as you guys are jumping on. So we'll let this kind of warm up. Now, the question I sent out, so good morning, Julia. Good morning, Liz. So the question I sent out, it was real simple. I sent it out over the weekend, and I'll just kind of read it to you. I wrote, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to getting others to refer you to your ideal target market? And again, it's just a real simple question that's sent out, and I got some really different answers. In fact, I think everyone had a very unique challenge to them, and we won't be able to cover every single one of them here today, but these are some great questions, great scenarios that obviously we'll be able to address here on Tuesday mornings. So let me tell you the first answer that we got that I want to address today is for someone who, and I see this all the time, people who either have very distinct, I'm going to use the word departments or areas or even different businesses, but they have multiple ways that they could grow their business. So they have multiple target markets, multiple products, and I've even shared in here, sometimes they have multiple businesses, therefore it's kind of like, which name tag do I wear? Which business card do I give out? And that can be challenging when you're deciding how to prepare for a networking activity, but it can become even more so when you begin to strategize what you want to say, what material you want to bring, how do you want to prep when it comes to getting ready for your strategy sessions and developing a potential prospective referral generator. And so I want to address that because, a lot of it is just understanding the purpose of, in the context of a strategy session. So I could answer this question so many different ways when it comes to your referral marketing strategy. Let's see. There we go. Liz is sharing her win for today. And if I'm not mistaken, this may have actually been a question answer submitted by Liz. So we're gonna answer this in the context of a strategy session. So for some of you, if you're watching Inspired Nation and you're just now getting used to me, let me just stop and explain what a strategy session is and the purpose of a strategy session so you'll understand why I'm going to answer this the way I am. First of all, a strategy session is an opportunity for you to connect with another business professional that there's a potential, and I say a prospective one in the very beginning, prospective referral generator, because you're discovering whether or not they can actually become someone that can grow and be a part of your success story. But it is a meeting. Now, whether or not it's virtual, over the phone, in person, it is time set aside where you are meeting with another professional, and you're basically splitting that time or in order to train. And I use that word train. I wish you guys could, as I said it popped out, and it was this big in bold bright colors, because a lot of people really kind of get strategy sessions all wrong because they go in with a completely different mindset. For me, it's all about, and we actually call them, we have 3 different levels that we train here with Inspired with strategy session. Introductory, the training strategy sessions, and then strategic strategy sessions. And yes, they are all different, and the material you take to them are different. How you prep for them is different. The results you should expect from them are different. But in the very beginning, the very basic strategy session is usually about an hour. I've seen, I have to sometimes work with some of my clients that forget they should be about an hour, because sometimes you meet people and you enjoy meeting them, and it can go an hour and a half, 2 hours before you actually get to really good information. So, but strive for it to be an hour. I really do love technology, especially if your potential or prospective referral generators are people in different parts of the nation, or different parts of a global, aspect to it, and you need to connect. So, it's okay to learn how to start doing strategy sessions via Zoom, via Facebook Messenger Live. There's Skype, there's, I think, WhatsApp. There's all different kind of ways that you can connect with people and set these up. Usually there are 30 minutes for you, 30 minutes for them, but the information, as I said, will change depending as you begin to move through the process, what we call here with Inspire the wanting, willing, and able process of converting someone in your network to actually becoming a referral generator for you. And so, understanding that that's the purpose of a strategy session, now you can see why, if you have multiple things that you could ask people to refer you, or different companies or different products, it may get confusing when you begin to think, well, I have 30 minutes to deliver this information or to educate. So what do I take? What's the best thing? How do I know how they're going to be able to help me? And so one of the first things I want you to do is leave that alone for the first couple of strategy sessions, because that's what an introductory strategy session is all about, is for you to get to know that person to begin with, to even decide if this is someone that you actually want to continue to move forward with, to be a part of your success story, to be a part of their success story. And so in the very beginning, that's where it's introductory. I should call it discovery, because this is where, or investigating, like this is where you're supposed to be looking into and asking those key questions, asking about their business, asking about their target markets, their hobbies, their interests, so that you can make an informed decision for when you invite them to the next strategy session. And yes, you are to do multiple strategy sessions with prospective, networkers, to turn them into referral generators. Very few people are going to refer you on a handshake, on an exchange of a business card, or even an introductory strategy session. I'm not saying magic doesn't happen every now and then, but be very careful with that, because credibility needs to be built up. Trust needs to be built up in order for a real referral relationship to take root and to grow. Okay. And so again, it's that whole thing. Where are you building your house? Are you building your house on, on sand? Are you building your house? I keep thinking of the Three Little Pigs. How are you building your house? Out of straw, out of brick? And same thing. I mean, when that strong wind blows or something happens, are you putting everything out there? Your referral? Are you lending your credibility to someone that you have not taken the time to develop that referral foundation, that trust foundation? So forget what you need to take and educate someone, because here's the question. If you don't know, then you haven't done enough introductory strategy sessions with that person, because you have no clue how to prep for that, for the additional ones. So stop just a little bit. People want referral marketing to be like this microwave that, you mix two people in, you turn the microwave on, and instant we're going to have these, all these major referrals that we're creating for each other. Look, it's just not going to happen that way. Remember, you're trying to build a sustainable business growth plan. This is something that when you put the time in the beginning, it pays off in the long run. And so if you're looking for a quick fix, you're looking for a short funnel to get where you want to go, then referral marketing is completely different. You've got to change your mindset, that paradigm shift. That's what we call it all the time, that paradigm shift into understanding that there's a completely different way to grow your business when you use referral marketing. So you've got to put your time in the beginning. And so if you're sitting there with all these question marks, remember I know we called him a villain before, but the villain last week, the one with all the question marks, I don't know what to take, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to tell this person. Those are things that can sneak up on you, and you want to watch that. You want to be informed and you want to be empowered when you're sitting in front of that person, and you need to look like you know more about your business, so that when you're sitting down with them, it's not a guessing game. You need to say, look, after our couple of conversations with each other, I've gone back and thought about your target market, who you typically interact with, the things that you've answered me, your hobbies, your interests. And based on that information, I feel that this is probably the direction we need to go in the way that I could train you to listen for this particular target market, for this particular trigger words, probably because you're going to find yourself in this situation more than you would find yourself in probably my other situations for a different referral for me. And so you begin there, and then, tell them what you're thinking. And the really good thing about telling them what you're thinking, it allows them to look at you and go, yeah, I don't know how that came about, but that's really actually not the way that's not the circle I run in, or, it just gets rid of all those nasty things called assumptions, right? Like, you're having dialogue, you're having conversation, you're beginning the process of communicating with your referral generators. And again, this is just about that exchange of information. And the one thing you really want to do is ask, for affirmation. Once you feel like you've told them about your trigger words, and again, remember, when it comes to referral marketing, it's not what you do, it's who it is that buys your product, who it is that you offer the solution to their challenge. So it's about your who, and when it comes to your referral partners, it's about your how. How can you listen for this trigger word? How can you bring me up? How can you introduce me? How can you recommend me? It's all about really understanding that, sometimes you have to stay in strategy sessions on the who until that person begins to recognize your who. And if you're worried actually leads into another answer I got the other day when someone says, I'm not quite sure how to give the words to let people know what I do. Okay, well, there you go. You need to stay in the who zone in the training sessions, and don't worry about trying to get to how you're going to bring me up or how you're going to introduce me, because here's the deal. If you're not sure that they understand what your target market is, if you're unsure that you don't know if they were to walk into a room of your opportunities that they would actually recognize it and think of you, then you need to stay at that level in the training strategy sessions, and you need to stay there until they can basically repeat back to you what your target market is, what the attributes are, you know, who is a good referral for you. And once you have the confidence that that person truly understands what your target market is, what your ideal client base is, then go into what I like to do, some different role playing. This is how you can introduce me, or this is how you might see this on Facebook, and this is how you can put a message through Messenger for me. This is how you can tag me, or how you can go send them my LinkedIn profile. Then you begin to train them the how mechanisms. But you can never get to the how if they don't have a clear picture of your who, and you can never get to the who if you haven't done the discovery work, the introductory work to figure out which who you're going to talk about. And so so my answer back to, what happens when I have so many things I can take. Remember that trying to, this isn't ragu, right? Like, it's all in there. Like, I'm going to take everything to a strategy session and just hope something sticks, right? Because here's the deal. It's too much overwhelm. It's too much information. This is someone who's already working to grow their own business. This is someone who's trying to figure out, just as fast as you're trying to figure out how to train them, they're training you. So keep it stupidly simple. Okay, just keep it so simple that when they walk away, like, you have no doubt when they walk into the parking lot and they get in the car, that when they think of this, they think of you. And if you're sitting there going, because I've done this before, when they walked away, I went, I don't even know what I even told them. I have no clue. They can tell I'm passionate about my business. They can tell I'm excited about it. They can tell I've got big dreams and I've got big visions, but do they actually know how to be a part of my success story? Do they really know how to help me? And if I can't walk away from that and know that I helped move that process forward, whether it's a small step forward or a large step forward, then I almost feel like I wasted at least 30 minutes of my time, right? Maybe I gained how to refer them, but if they can't walk away and know how to refer me, then gosh, we got to set up another strategy session. And here's the deal. Most people won't sit out there and want to continue to do strategy sessions with you if it's a waste of time. Like, they want to feel like they're moving forward also, not just in giving you information, but also feel like they can actually refer you. I am guilty of this. I've had people that I've sat down with and done strategy sessions with, and I've asked questions to drag information out of them in order to help, figure out how to refer them. And the information I'm getting, it's just not going anywhere. And then I've sat in meetings and I've heard them, share their call to actions, and I have nothing to write down. And it just becomes just this painful process of knowing that they don't really know the direction that they're going, or they don't know how to verbalize the direction they're going in. And they're unreferable at that point. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing. It doesn't mean that they're not a qualified professional. It just means they're unreferable. I have no ability to be able to refer them because I'm not sure who to refer them to, and I'm not sure how to refer them. And so what happens if you happen to have a large network, or even an intimate network, 5 to 10 people, you're always going to refer to the easier referral partner, when the ones that, it seems like the referrals just fall in your lap. Well, it's not that they just fall in your lap. It's because you've been trained to listen to their trigger words more. You have a better understanding of what their referrals look like. You have a better understanding of how to bring them up. You have a better understanding of what you're looking for on social media on their behalf. And so, yes, it seems like referrals for that person is really easy to generate. And so, look, I'm like everyone else. That easy picking from the fruit is really kind of nice. Oh, I can generate referrals for my referral partners. But there always seems to be that one person out there that I want to refer to, but man, it really is, like I always say, like it's like a treadmill. I mean, we are going through our paces to try to figure out how that referral is actually going to get generated. Now, obviously, some of it could just be on the industry. It could be, my network. But let's face it, if I'm talking to a network person like that, they're probably in my power partner list. They're really probably not part of my strategic alliance list or even my industry collaborator list, because, I'm not guaranteed in a power partner list. And of course, if you're wondering about these 3 levels of referral generators, this is some of the stuff that we train in our activator program, even in our accelerator program, the 3 different ways you can generate referral generators. But the power partners, I always say this list over here are people that are in your network that aren't sharing your target market, nor are they in your industry, lane. And therefore, there are going to be times you're going to have people in your network that you're not going to run into their target market because it's not similar to yours. They're not in your industry, so therefore, that's not an easy way to refer them. So it's harder work sometimes to generate referrals for people in your power partner list. And so, a lot of times I have to evaluate that when I'm being very efficient and very effective to growing my business, and I'm setting up strategy sessions. Where am I going to put my time in? Which strategy sessions am I going to do? Well, obviously, I'm just like every one of you. I have to do the things that are productive for my business. So I'm going to go through and pick referral generators that we're generating referrals for one another. And then eventually I work in, what I call a lower level, which means I'm starting at an introductory strategy session with someone. I work those in. So I'm continuously feeding my network and growing it. But when I'm strapped for time, I'm always going to go to, and we call it the I strategy session, the T strategy session, or the strategic, or an S strategy session. And I'm going to go to an S strategy session all the time. And if I can get a few of them on, a virtual strategy session, group session where there's 4 or 5 of us and we're going in the same direction at the same time at the same pace, and I can get us on a virtual thing for an hour, I'm going to go for that all day long, right? And you should too. So if you're sitting there trying to figure out, one of our questions we got is, I don't know how to work in time for strategy sessions. Well, right there, like, get smart with it. Like, go virtual. So you're not wasting time going down the road and meeting here and that kind of thing. Like, if you're truly strapped for time in order to do strategy sessions, strip it down to the bare basics and do it over virtual and connect with people that you already have established a referral relationship with. And then when your time opens up, begin to work in some of the other ones. And so those are some of the things. I'm going to refresh my screen here and see where we're at on some questions and comments. And again, if you're watching this live, I really want to, hear some feedback from you. Like, where have you been when it comes to, are you doing strategy sessions? That's a good question right there. How many of you are actually doing strategy sessions? How many of you understand that there are multiple levels to strategy sessions? Or how many of you are sitting there going, first of all, I don't even know how to do one. I don't know how to get one person to a strategy session. I don't know what to take to an introductory versus a strategic. I get that. That's why I created all the training that I have, because it can be confusing. But strategy sessions is the secret recipe to referral marketing. Like if you don't get how to work strategy sessions, I guarantee you, I don't care how many networking events you go to, I don't care how many activities you are involved in, I guarantee you, you aren't getting your bang for your buck if you're not doing strategy sessions. I guarantee it. No doubt about it. That's how important they are to strategy sessions. To your referral marketing plan. They are game changers. They are momentum changers. I will tell you that. That's why we spend a lot of time in this. This is why we called our program, the accelerator and, the activator, because there are certain things that you need to do that are really quite simple. And that's the thing. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be executed, right? So, but there are things you have to put in place, and when you begin to put those things in place, you begin to move forward. So we're running up right here at at our time. And again, if you're watching this on replay, I'd love your feedback also. You can answer the question that I sent to everyone else. Let me read it again so you guys can respond to the question. You can send it to me in personal message. You can obviously put it down below. But here's the original question. And I'm asking all of you, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to getting others, okay, your network, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your clients, to refer you, which is to recommend or introduce, okay, to your ideal target market? Now, I did find it interesting that a lot of people answered the question, but failed to really address the part about the ideal client, the ideal target market. So again, I think it's a disconnect. People really fail to understand that you can use your words to drive to you the client base you actually want, the ones that are making you money, the ones that you're providing the service that you enjoy, and quite frankly, are also willing to refer you once they become your client. So what is an ideal client for you? And then if you're sitting there thinking, I know what I'd love to work with, and I know who I'd love to work with, and you're not getting those type of referrals, you got to start with strategy sessions. You got to go take an inventory of your network. You got to go take an inventory of your activities. You have to sometimes cut things loose in order to open up additional time. It's not, growing your business, it isn't, it isn't easy, but it can be simple. Okay, which means you can put some simple strategies in place that are going to continue to move you forward. Look, we've got something real exciting coming up, and we're going to be posting it out. Oh, gosh, we got a lot of things we're going to be posting out over the next week. I've got our planners for next year. We've got strategy session planners coming out next year. You're going to be able to order. We've got our accelerator and activator plan. You can sign up for those like right now and start this process of everything I'm talking about. So we have a, what I call a slow drip process, and then we have a much faster strategy process with the activator. So accelerator, the activator. But I understand a lot of people, you may be new to Inspired Nation, maybe new to me. Referral marketing sounds intriguing, but you're not quite sure what it is. I get that. So watch for this over the next couple of days. We're going to be inviting some of you to join just a simple challenge. It's going to be a 5-day, but 3 steps, just 3 simple step, 5-day challenge that we're going to I'm going to share with you one of my biggest and most successful tips that I use personally. I use almost every single week that helps me actually begin the process of the introductory strategy sessions. And then of course, but we're going to address what is an ideal target market for you. And then of course, how do you actually trigger the opportunities to begin to turn someone into a referral generator for you. So of course, watch for that. You're going to start seeing some information out here on Inspired Nation, and to be able to get you guys out there where we can help you. If you're going into the end of the year, if you went into November and you're looking at your annual numbers and you are thinking, what's happened? You know, gosh, this year started so strong, I'm not finishing where I wanted to, or you had to let go of something because you didn't achieve your goals. If you're excited about 2020, but you know you need a system to go into it, wherever it is, we're all at a different place with our businesses. We're all, you know, either starting something, in the middle of something, or wrapping up something, right? That's just where we're all at. Now's the time. Take the time right here in November and December and work on your strategy so that you're going into 2020 strong and empowered and confident and surrounded by other people who want to be a part of your success story. And that's what I know that I am able to do for my clients. Like, I know I can help them set themselves up for success. And I'm actually really excited about 2020. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's tip. Again, I'll be back next Tuesday for Tuesday's tips at 10 o'clock. And so you guys, I hope you enjoy this. And of course, utilize it. I want to hear how you're using some of these tips in order to help you move forward, past some milestones or reach milestones and pass some roadblocks. There we go, on your way to your success goal. So guys, have a fantastic Tuesday, and remember to go out there and inspire others.